Yo, so today's the day. Today's a super exciting day for us. We get to release the next best product to the industry. We've created, we've invented, we have patented the Recon Power Tower. So much excitement from this company right now because nothing like this exists on the market. And it's such a diverse product, the Recon Power Tower, that it absolutely hits every part of the industry, okay? There's going to be a lot of excitement coming from me today because I'm finally released and I'm allowed to like show it off and show what we can do, show what we've done, and show how this product is going to help all of you guys on all demographics across the entire industry. What you're looking at is called the Recon Power Tower, okay? To put that into a quick perspective, if you're at the gym and you're using the cable machines, you've seen something similar to this, right? The housing is moving up and down. You're clicking into a cable. You're doing tricep pull downs. You're doing whatever workout you're doing off of that. We took kind of that concept, but we completely flipped it upside down and made it band based, all on resistance bands. No cables, no static weights. Why we did that is because we've done the research into band training. Our own doctors have said this is the best way to rehabilitate and strength conditioning. So we dove right into that and we started creating products around bands. Introducing the Recon Power Tower. This thing is dynamic in every way. So many options, so many diversities, so many different settings, functions. The workouts that come from this tower are A to Z. So I'm going to show you the tower a little bit, and then I'm going to introduce why the tower came to be and how the tower came to be, okay? Power tower. Simply put away when not using. Release your lock springs. And when you're ready to go, you're ready to go. That thing's locked in for a minimum of 2,000 pounds of pull force. We've engineered with high quality industrial sized bearings on all of our equipment to give you that smooth action. It's no different than the cable machine, but it's the Ferrari of the cable machines, okay? Reinforced Teflon carbon fiber sleeves on the inside gives it that fluid motion. Once you get into it and use it, there's no sound, there's no shake, there's no movement at all. There's the quality of the product, and then there's the use of the power tower. The uses are unlimited. The uses are unlimited. The product, the applications are unlimited. The product, you've never seen before. Recon has put the time in the last 5-6 years to engineering, designing, and owning the patents on everything you see here. So if we get a little deeper into it, we kind of understand what it is. I'm going to dive into how it came to be. We started with the Recon Quick Connect system, okay? Why the Quick Connect system was so important and became so predominant within all of our products is because we identified a problem. So about 5 years ago, I got sick. I got sick with some mental health illnesses and was diagnosed with some illnesses that really challenged me physically and mentally. Some of my diagnoses froze up my nervous system. Stress, the way you deal with things in life, your lifestyle, what's going on in life, you know, things that you've been through, potentially traumas, etc., all lead to the way your physical being is. And when I turned 40, the universe decided to say, Jay, we're going to give you a little bit of a challenge. And it did that. Right around my 40th birthday, I got hit with some pretty serious depression, anxieties that I didn't even understand what those things were. But it definitely immobilized me. It knocked me off my feet, put me on the ground for months and months on end. The main thing that happened to me with those initial diagnoses was my nervous system froze up. There's parts of the brain that run the physical part of the body, and my brain just said no at that moment. So my body literally went into a state of tension where I could not release that tension, my muscle would not let go, and I couldn't be in a relaxed state. So doctors on doctors, psychologists on psychologists, trying different medications to release the body's tension in me so that I could go back to a normal state of relaxation and continue through life and get through these challenges. While the doctors were working on the right type of prescription for me personally and my personal diagnoses, I took it upon myself, being in the fitness world my whole life, to try and understand how I could pull the tension out of my body myself, okay? And that became a band. It became a resistance band, literally. Working through all of these issues and these problems with my physical and my mental being with the doctors, every spare minute I had, I would grab a band. I would grab a band, I'd connect it to something in the gym, and I'd sit down for hours. I'd sit down for hours and I'd just let the tension pull my body. And it would pull all of the muscle and the tension, and I could feel the fibers pulling and stretching out my body, and I would feel more release and more relaxed. So I dove really deep into that because I was seeing benefits. I was seeing the results of the band starting to pull the tension out of my body. In today's society, a lot of us are struggling in certain areas. And 5 years ago, this was my struggle, was my body locked on me. And with the help of doctors and Western medication, I was getting there, but the band is what did the physical work of releasing the tension in my body. Chemical is one thing in the brain, but you still got to do the physical work like anything else in life, right? So I would spend hours and hours on the floor just stretching out. And while I'm doing that, I'm like everybody else. I'm on social media and I'm seeing, okay, band training, man. How can I do this more? How can I learn more movements to let the rest of my body start to understand how to pull tension out? So I'd go on social medias. And you know, the biggest thing 5-6 years ago about bands and social media was the fails. The band snapping up while doing a chin pull-up, or the band snapping off of something and slapping you in the face, or the band breaking and flying across the gym. My past, I owned a fairly large construction company here in Calgary, so my mind has always been, you know, kind of with an engineering background, a problem-solving background. So lying on the floor, pulling tension out, looking at social media to try and find better movements, I find all the problems. And my brain instantly goes to solve that problem, make this easier, make this more accessible to the public without thought, right? Because we like to do things and do them now. We don't want to put the research into doing something. We've done that at Recon. We've already done the research and the development into this. So as I started to see more and more problems and more injuries come to the surface with band training, I just dove deeper into it, and I would sit on the floor in the gyms for hours and hours and hours on end. Yes, I got better, you know, in combination with my doctors and the way that I developed my own way of training under tension with bands. I got better. I 100% was seeing progress in both my mental and my physical being. Through that process, my mind just kept turning on how can we make this available for people? How can I create something that makes it easy for the industry? So, you know, athletes, the youth, they've all got access to this kind of product and this kind of benefits, right? It's not just about, you know, mental health crushed me and I had to redevelop myself. It's about what I learned through that process about band training for the body. So the problem was, where do you tie the other end of the band? How do you attach it to something? Is it safe to attach it to something? And once I do attach it to something, what are the movements I can do? Is it from a high point? Is it from a low point? If I'm trying to target my glutes, how can I use a band to do that, right? and everybody would go to social media. But 5, 6 years ago, there really wasn't much on social media about this is how you fire your glutes with a band. This is how you fire your shoulders with a band. So this really kind of got to me. And where it started was, let's start with the first problem. How and where do you anchor your band to? And that became the RQC, the Recon Quick Connect system. We integrated a male connection end on the end of all of our bands with a receiving coupler in our housing. It's basically a quick plug and play system for your bands. You don't have to think about where to tie it, where to wrap it around. We've given you the tools so that you can get right into band training, right into rehabilitation, quick and easy, and cost effective, if we're talking about it. I can quickly plug and play like this, and I'm ready to go. Where before I had this system, this was the process. I would have to find a point, I would have to wrap a band around it, I'd have to double loop it through, I'd have to understand the length of it, I'd have to go up high if I was, and then I gotta move my band way up here, and this just wasn't, I work under discipline and efficiency. These are my life models, right? And this was not efficient, and it definitely is not a disciplined movement. So how do we make it easier? We make a quick connect. Perfect. This is a problem solved. We plug our band in, we're locked in, we're safe because we know we're locked, and now we have versatility to use that band. The hard part from there was, how do you get that anchor system into a product that can get out to the public and have it easy for them to use, right? It's cool to have this anchoring system, but if it's not in something or adapted to something that gives the public ease to use, it really is no good, right? Like it's just not, it's not a thing, because what do you do? Where do you go? Where do you put that anchor? So there came the Power Tower. And this was, you know, right on top of our product list for bringing to the market, because the Power Tower literally is a 4 bolts into the stud at your home, at your office, at your gym, and it's up and ready to go. 4 bolts, that's all it takes to put this thing on the wall, and you're ready to go. Once installed, we can tuck it away like we've shown. Whether I'm at my clinic, at my physiotherapist, he can tuck this thing away. If I'm at home, I can tuck this thing away. And when I'm ready to go to town and start using again, spring load my lock pins, unlock, and I'm ready to go, right? We've just made band training accessible, easy, effective, and efficient. Plug and play your band and do what you need to on which movements. That's just one, right? I can quickly drop it down and I can start doing bicep curls. I can bring it up high. And we can do our triceps. The list is endless, okay? So we started to see this and we started to understand it. But my goal was to close a circle within the industry that had multiple gaps. So when we created the tower, it was created for physio, for rehabilitation, for strength conditioning, and for continued life health. What I mean by that is, once you have one of these in your home or in your gym or in your office or wherever you are, and your purpose is for rehabilitation or strength conditioning, this product just continues to give you value, more to use, more movements, more exercises, right? So we had the product. We have the anchor, we have the solution to the problem of where do I put this band? How do I attach this band? We've solved it. And then we put it in a product that was easy to share with the public, okay? That's cool, and that's one thing. The bigger part of that is, what do you do with it? What exercises can I do with it? How do I do those exercises? So not only have we created the product, but we've created a database of movements based on either your sport, your injury, or a muscle part that you are trying to rehabilitate or develop. So yes, Recon is innovation. Yes, we have patented multiple products around band training because we are true believers in time under tension and band training. But how do we get it to you guys? Hence the Power Tower. This is a quick purchase. That's it. 4 bolts to the wall, and you have full access to time under tension training right there at your fingertips. You're not in your home looking at, where do I put this band? How do I attach this band? I want to do band training because everybody else is, but how do I? How do I? And that's it. We made it easy. It's almost like, you know, I'm 45, so back in the days before remote controls, TVs had remote controls. You got to get up and you got to go turn it. Nobody liked that. But nobody understood how much easier that could be until the remote control came out, right? Everybody wants to band train. Everybody wants to do what the professional athletes are and use bands. Everybody wants to rehabilitate based on bands. But how do you? This is how you do it. This is why we brought the Power Tower to the market, is to share with the public an easy, quick way so that you can strength condition, you can rehabilitate. So that was kind of the first phase of the Quick Connect. From there, we just started to continue developing systems, more products that are band-based to bring to you guys, so that when we did launch this innovation, this crazy tower, it wasn't just a singular product. It's a system and it's a method of training. You know, yoga was stretching before you seen yoga in a store on every corner. It was just stretching. But it's how they shared that stretch with the public and what vehicle they put that stretch in to get it out to the public, to the masses. And that's what we did here, right? We put it in a product that we can get out to the masses to give you guys the opportunity to get the benefits of band training anywhere you are. But that wasn't enough. To me, that's not enough. You needed more. So we started developing the database of movements. And now you can start to see not just a product, but a method and a system starting to come together, which is what our goal was, right? You can design and engineer and fabricate a product and sell that product. It's eventually just going to sell itself out of the market. But when you develop a system that is valuable to you guys, the public, that works in all areas of the industry, you got to look at that and say, man, this industry is about to change, because it's not just a product. It's a system that these guys have developed. It's a new way of doing things. It makes you think, yo, do I need to push 4 plates aside? I don't. I really don't. I can do the same, get the same benefits in a healthier fashion using a Power Tower or using a Recon banded rack, some of our other products that we'll release here soon. So when I say it wasn't enough, my brain is always forward thinking. It's just part of what I had to learn about some of the illnesses that I was diagnosed with. You know, this is a pretty candid video. I'm sharing a lot about my personal that some people do know and most don't. Another diagnosis that I have is obsessive compulsive disorder. The public will know it as OCD. I know it as obsessive compulsive disorder. Those are 2 different things. I'm not going to dive into mental health descriptions and such, because mental health hits everybody in a unique way. However, obsessive compulsive disorder is a mental illness, and what it does is it definitely makes you obsess over things. And it's not so much the physical way that things are done, but what I learned when I was hospitalized was obsessive compulsive hits the brain. It's the thoughts of things that you can't let go, or that you continue to obsess on that thought, and it just will not go away until you have solved that problem or dealt with that thought. So when I say this wasn't enough, it's because I was continually obsessing over how much value this has to the public, making sure I do it the right way to get it out to the public, and then continuing to make sure that this product is forever. because it's that valuable. And we don't want it to be just a one product drop. Sell as many as you can and walk away. We literally are introducing and trying to add this into the industry. Not change, but bring more value and more innovation into an already existing industry. So it wasn't enough. As cool as this is and as effective and beneficial this is, it wasn't enough for me. I looked at all other training methods and all other training systems and all other training products, and I needed to be better. We needed to do more. If you are not innovative and you are not continually bettering yourself, your business, or your products, you're going to fade away. You're going to fade into the masses. You're just going to be, you know, that blur in the background. And that's not who we are. We are forefront with innovation. You can see it in the products. So it wasn't enough. What do you do next? Handles. Everybody uses handles in the gyms. So how do we adapt handles quick and easy to our band system so that we're not changing the way people are thinking of doing, or the way people are doing things? We're adding the value to it with tension, but not changing it enough so that it's a complete flip and telling you guys, yo, do it completely different. No, do it the same, but do it with tension. So with these bands, with these handles, it's just a quick connection to our band, and I can literally start rows. I can drop that down. I can double it for more intensity. And I can start doing curls right off of it. You're starting to see all the different applications and movements that I can do off of it, right? And these are the Recon handles. So the Recon Power Bar, the Recon Power Tower, our Recon handles is a system. It's a method, right? It's not a singular product. But that's not enough. That's not enough, because when I'm in a gym, I'm doing tricep curl downs. I'm doing curls with a curl bar off a cable machine. So what do you got to do? We came up with the power bar, okay? Bearing system on both ends so that you can lock your form. Let the bar take the force. Let the bar and the bearings take the force, right? Again, just innovation on top of something that already exists. Quick and easy connect. And I'm under tension. Now with my power bar, I can get into my curls. I can get into my rows.